This episode is brought to you by Revolution Motherhood.
Looking for more than a workout?
Revolution Motherhood was made for moms of all kinds. Strengthen, sculpt, and sweat through a 3-phase method that's disrupting the industry of women's health and fitness from prenatal to postpartum and beyond.
Revolution Motherhood's founder, Rachel Welsh, picks up where medicine leaves off, igniting your mind, body, and spirit, making momming a whole lot easier. It's time for season 3, bitches.
I'm Jessie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're just a couple pregnant bitches navigating motherhood together. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Pregnant Bitches podcast. We're really fucking excited today.
We are excited.
A really sick guest on. Her name is Alex Bennett. You might have recognized her from a Barstool era. She also is probably an OG podcaster, starting her own Mean Girls podcast and her Just Alex podcast. But the reason why we have her on today is she's also a recent mom. She just had a baby girl, Tatum, and we love watching her. We love following along her journey. She's so real and raw and talks about all the stuff that we love talking about. So we're really excited to have her on today to talk everything that no one tells you about when it comes to motherhood. So welcome, Alex. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for having me. Fabulous, fabulous little intro right there. I hate that part where you just sit there and listen to people talk about you and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's so awkward. I know. I tried to make it short.
That's me.
You're like sweating and you're like, okay.
I know. So how is motherhood going? I know that's a loaded question.
It's such a loaded
question. Give us like the lowdown right now of like what stage you're in and just where you are.
How old she is. And you start it. Take it away.
Okay, so she is right here. You can see her kicking. You see his little legs?
Oh,
yeah. Those were kicking my belly, for 9 months. And they're still kicking. She is 2.5 months old and just love her. Like, sometimes Harrison's my baby daddy, will be like, I'd eat her. Like, I would chop her up and I'd eat her because that's the only way I can express like how I feel about her.
That's what I say.
Completely agree.
I tell people and like I shouldn't. I'm like, I just want to throw my kids off the balcony. Like they're so fucking cute. They're like, that's a little aggressive. I'm like, don't you just want to punch them in the face?
Like I just want to like,
yes. Like that's because you have to feel like something so intense, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like if she was a cuss word, it would be fuck. Like the most intense one ever.
Yeah.
But motherhood is like, how long do you have? Like if you know, and if you don't, I can't explain it to you because there's not enough words, but it's the best thing ever. The house is just a mess, but I don't even care. And I just am like full of love and I love it. And I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I'm tired.
How is the sleep going?
Well, so for the first time ever last night, our neighbors have a baby 2 weeks younger than her, and they told us about this dream feed. So, which I didn't even know existed. So last night at 10, she was like asleep, but I knew she wouldn't make it through the night. So we popped in, we did a bottle while she was sleeping and she like drank the whole thing, but her eyes never opened. Have you guys done that? Like, have you seen that?
Yeah, I did it all the time with my second one because he just like wouldn't sleep and it would always buy me like an extra 3 hours.
Because it's a real thing.
I would go to bed no matter what at 11 p.m. because by the time I like was done pumping and everything. So I'm like, he was going to bed at 8 and I'm like, I might as well feed him because I'm still up anyways. And then that would get it to like 2 or 3. And then I got some sleep.
I never did a dream feed.
Sometimes it wakes them up.
Yeah. But no, it's a very common thing. I feel like a lot of my friends did dream feeds for months, even after, like till they were like 8 months. Some of them.
I did it the other night, and he's 8 months.
There you go. Yeah.
So how long of a stretch did you get? A good one?
Yeah, I got like till 7.
Wow,
that's a great.
Wow.
Stretch.
Yeah, at 2.5 months.
Yeah, it was
fucking
great. It was a really good. We had a good. Now, my boobs. I don't know. Like my boobs wake me up a lot, and I have to pump. I'm still trying to figure that out right now. That's my current problem.
You're pumping.
I'm pumping in the middle of the night.
That was actually on our list to know about your breastfeeding journey. How
is it going?
Yeah, how's it going? What's the deal there?
So it's good. Well, it's a never ending journey. It's like I got my milk supply like really high where I was like pumping sometimes every like 2 hours, like it was like too much. And now I've like slowed it down, but I need to get it up a little bit more now. So I thought I had built a freezer supply. that would last for 2 months. And then we went on a trip and I realized like I had enough for like 3.5 days total. Like I thought I had done it. I was like, I'm done. Check out all these bags. And then I was like, got humbled real quick. And I was like, fuck, like I got a lot more work to do. So I need to get my supply back up. Today, like I'm going to pump every 3 hours. I'm going to eat a lot of protein, drink a lot of water. Like I kind of got I got to get my shit together
already.
That.
That's literally all the tips. But that's the same thing happened to me. I was like, not power pumping because I think that's crazy. Like that's where they tell you to like pump every 10 minutes and like
you were doing a lot in the
lot of pumping. My boobs were like engorged like crazy. But then I also had like this stash and I went away for one day and I was like, where's the milk? They're like, we used it all. I'm like, what do you mean you used it all?
They're eating every 3 hours. That's a lot of milk.
I know. And then they're growing.
They want more. You have to up the feed. It's a lot.
I saw on your Instagram the other day that you're planking during you're pumping.
That's was genius.
Insane.
I am not. Okay, we're okay. I am not. I haven't done. I'm not like proud of this, but like it is the stat. I haven't done a workout class in 2024, and so I was just like bored. I tried to stop checking my phone in the middle of the night while I was pumping. And I was just like, just do a plank, Alex. Like,
it's genius.
A plank.
It's genius.
And then I plank, and my arms are sore. Like, it's my time.
Honestly, it's so smart. I wish I thought it. I guess what pump do you have that doesn't like? Because whenever I would lean over, it would like fucking spill everywhere, and I was like, no, the milk.
I have the just the blue Spectra, but I have the pumping bra. But my bra is not like a bra. It's like a tube top. And it's very secure.
It is
and they
secure.
don't move.
I had the tube top. I couldn't breathe.
I guess if they used the old Medela one where it was like the fembot vibe,
that's probably what it is.
I could
it holds in your boobs.
Go like this. Oh
we said we wish we knew that when we were breastfeeding because I sat here like a lump, like miserable, like waiting for it to end.
What do you mean?
Like while I was pumping, I would just scroll through my phone. Exactly what you're saying. I said I wish I could do an activity. I would have totally planked while I was
squats
pumping.
Or something.
But like, how much milk could you get? How long is this going to take?
No, the squats is a great one because like the thing looks like a kettlebell. Like sometimes I will just like squat with it. But most of the time I just sit and let my brain rot and I scroll through my phone. But in the middle of the night, I found like I couldn't go back to bed as easily.
I know because it like the blue light fucks you up a little bit. It's actually bad. Like I actually try now not to look at my phone. I was up for 8 months, my kid didn't sleep through the night. It was brutal. And I was like, I specifically would try not to look at my phone because I feel like it like triggers your brain to start the day. And it's like, no, I don't want to start the day.
No.
That's actually was the hardest part for me is to go back to bed after waking up. They go back to bed.
I like the idea of squats and doing planks. I'm in for that.
Yeah, it's a good tip. It would be like one of my tips.
I love that.
Just do something.
It's smart. It's really smart. I like obviously we have 2 kids each, but like I've been watching your stuff recently. To be honest, my husband actually like was one like I love it. He was like sending me your videos. Look at these tips.
He was like, you gotta get her on. I'm like, okay, Josh.
Yeah, I love the dad follower.
The dad followers. The dads love you. And then
the loyal dad follower.
He's like sending me like all your snippets. But then you did post something that I was like, this is so true. You were like, when I feed her, I don't want to like not be present. Like it's so easy just to like be on your phone and like, you know, oh, this is so boring. But to like be present like with your kid and like look at them. And like now my son is 8 months, so I'm a little bit ahead of you. But like he like looks up at me and is like staring at me. I'm like, shit, like the amount of times that I've probably
we would just sit there scrolling on your phone.
Like how did you end up in like making that shift?
It was one sentence from my mom, and she just said, babies come into the world looking for someone looking for them. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm still so emotional, right? Like my hormones have not leveled out. I could I could just cry.
They don't.
And I'm like,
they still don't.
I like here. I believe it. The end is not near lovely. I heard that though, and I just thought like, oh my God. And then I read in a book like babies they don't want to think they're eating alone. You know,
Right.
like you put
It's
this bottle with
true.
them, but they just feel like no one's looking at them. So I just started making I just stare at her the whole time she eats. And I'm like, you're not eating alone.
Where were you when we had kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda wants to have a
I want a third, so I'm going to
she's
take all your tips for my third.
Oh, you want to have 3?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
need
she's
one
nuts.
more. I like want it like now. My husband's like, can we just wait a little bit more? I'm like, hey, wait it. I have a 3.5-year-old and my youngest is turning 2 in January. Like I'm ready. I'm
She's done.
so ready.
And I always think like, why put Humpty Dumpty back together just to take it apart again? Like, I'm like, I want to crank these kids out.
Right?
Well, you did.
I did.
She
My
cranked
first 2 are 16 months apart. I did 2 back to back. It was very, very, very hard. Like it's amazing now, but also like I always talk about it on our podcast. I basically didn't really
Recover.
enjoy the newborn stage with my second because I just did it. So
It
I
wasn't new
basically
anymore.
it wasn't new to me. I was like, I just did it, and I had a 16-month-old, which is still a baby, with the pacifier, with the diaper, with everything. Like they're not really fully speaking yet. Like it's still a baby. And when my newborn was here, I would just hand him off because I'm like, hey, I just did this. So that is the only, I want to say like really bad con
of doing two
doing
close.
2 back to back.
But that's interesting because but did it make your second pregnancy go by faster?
Yes. But yes, 100%. But I think anyways having another, like you'd say,
You're just busy.
You're busy even if they're 2 years apart. You're busy with your first kid.
You don't
So,
even like some
Yeah,
people would
no matter what.
No matter what, the second pregnancy is going by way faster. And if I have a third, it's literally going to be like, wait, you were pregnant?
Yeah. No,
Like,
because you just don't have time
you
to
don't
think
have
about
time.
it. You're literally running after the other one and you're not
Yeah,
2
first
seconds to
pregnancy,
breathe.
you get to relax, you get to do work in bed, like there's none of that with the second.
First pregnancy is just, people kept saying, like, enjoy these last few days with just you two. And I was like, this is so stupid.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's going to still be us two. And I mean, like, people say it for a reason, honey. I should have just listened to him. Like, I
Yeah.
was so busy organizing the nursery. And it's like, I should have just got in bed and sat there.
I know. I feel like everything's like hindsight, right?
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
we always like say, "Oh, this is what I wish I knew as a first-time mom." Like it's you just don't know, and
You
like no
don't
one
know.
tells you, and they tell you, but they tell you like either in like a condescending way,
Right.
or like I don't know. It's just like not helpful, and
No.
then I'm like, "This is just I'm not listening
No.
to you," and then I'm like, "Fuck, they were probably right."
No. But I do, the only thing I do tell people is sleep.
Yeah, just try and get your
Get
sleep.
your sleep because
bank it.
that sleep is done.
Mhm.
Sleep is done forever.
It's done. I saw these moms and they were like, our baby just turned 9 and we're finally sleeping. In the comment section, I love the comment section, was just like, 9?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
gotta wait till I have 9 years.
Yeah.
And God forbid I have a second one. Then, I have
Then you add
11
another
years
18.
until they're
18 years.
No, you're actually right. I read somewhere that it takes 7 years to recover your sleep per kid. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm sleeping when I'm dead.
Oh,
literally.
That's literally what it is. That's the one thing I will agree with. Your sleep is done. So yes. And you're not even sleeping when you're pregnant because you're up peeing every
14 minutes.
So sleep. Whoever's watching this and is not pregnant yet, sleep.
We want to know about your birth experience because I feel like that's like
That's our
unique
favorite.
Yeah, it's our favorite. Amanda's obsessed with labor and delivery. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
love it.
strange. She's obsessed with it.
Like if you told me I can go deliver a baby tomorrow, I'm like, let's do it.
It's so weird.
Oh, that's actually like really cool that you're obsessed with that, because if you have to like pick something to be obsessed with, it's fascinating.
Is it?
She's just being
No, I couldn't believe our bodies could do it. I'm still in shock about the whole birth thing.
shocked. Did
Well-
you do it at a hospital or like where did you do it?
So I did it at a hospital. Like I 100% did it at a hospital, and it wasn't even close. Like I'm just not. I think I should preface with like, I love being a mom 100 times more than I thought I would love it. Like I knew I wanted kids because like that was just the way life was gonna go. But I didn't know I'd feel like so maternal and all of these things. So when it came to the birth, I just wanted to do the epidural. Like I just really kind of wanted to put my head down and get through it. So I did it at a hospital here. I was induced because I did it at 39 weeks. My doctor said, in the 39th week, you can get induced. I said, okay, the day I turned 39 weeks on a Monday,
Get
8
this
a.m.
baby out of me.
Can I come in and get induced? And she's like, sure, it's going to take longer. And I'm like, perfect, no problem. Like, I just can't be 41 weeks and pregnant because I'll die. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I went
don't know
to
if you guys
40
were
with my
induced.
second and I wanted to die. It was awful. Awful. And that's not even 41.
I didn't love being pregnant.
I didn't love being pregnant either.
I loved it.
Yeah, Jesse loved it.
I
didn't
just
like
was
it.
done by the end. I couldn't breathe.
And then you're just like waiting. And just the option of getting induced, like I know they say it takes longer, but I was fine with that. Even if it took 3 days, I was fine with that. Just like having an end date was like really good for me. I was like, I need that.
I'm with you. I got induced on both. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm going to be an induced like person. So I go, that's just good. Like if you had a personality type, it's like I was the kind that got induced.
Yeah. Same.
So I went to the hospital and they start the induction, right? And everything. And I'm like, oh my God, good for me. This is going to be easy. You know, like I was at like a 3 or a 4 and I was like feeling nothing. Okay, actually I was at a 3. And then I was like, I'll call for the epidural now.
Right.
Because then if it catches up to me, I was like watching Netflix. We were like having a blast. And then, so they start the epidural and it works for like an hour. And then I was like, this is weird. Like, I'm starting to feel like these contractions again. And then, like, the nurse, God bless the nurses, right? The nurse comes in and I'm at a 6 or a 7. And she's like, whoa, girl, your blood pressure. They had just changed shifts. She's like, your blood pressure it was at like a 25 or a 30.
Whoa.
And I was like, she's like, how do you feel? And I was like, all I can see is stars, but like I feel fine.
Oh my God.
She's like, I just like wasn't paying attention to, and I couldn't like really talk. And so they were like, oh, fuck. So like, then, all 7 of the doctors are in there. Anyways, they paused the epidural because they were like, that's making her blood pressure go crazy. So they paused the epidural. I go from like a 7 to an 8 with the epidural paused. And then I'm like, this hurts like real bad. So they turn the epidural back on, but it never works again.
Oh God.
So it gets, that's where like shit starts at the fan. So like I'm at a 10 and they're like, we need you to start pushing. And I'm like screaming. And I was like, I know this is like what a natural birth is like, but I didn't want to have a natural birth. So like mentally, like I just wasn't prepared for this. I wouldn't have signed up for it. Like I looked at Harrison and I was like, I want to actually die. And like now I don't, but in the moment, I was
awful.
like, take the cord and wrap it around my head. Like, I can't do this. And like, I knew I could do it, but like, you don't know what you're working for in the moment. Cause like you haven't met the baby.
You have no idea.
And you don't know how long it's going to be. That's the worst part. Like, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 6 more hours. And you're like, you have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea. And like, so I'm just like, I'm just like screaming. I'm like, somebody figure out the epidural, figure it out now. And so Harrison like went out in the hallway. I don't know what he said, but anyways, there was a new anesthesiologist on call, or not on call, but rounding at that point. So that one comes in and they're like, okay, we don't really usually do this, but like, we're going to give you a new epidural. Before this though, I pushed for 4 hours.
Oh
with
my,
no epidural.
what?
Yes, I forgot that part. So I pushed for 4 hours, but I couldn't get her out.
It's a long time. I just got chills.
I pushed for 2 and I thought that was long. Jesus.
4 hours. And like, I was making no progress because I didn't have the energy because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
I was throwing up like every 10 minutes. I would just like roll over and like puke. And this is how I got the epidural. I leaned up at one point and the nurse was like, I want you to like take a breather. And I fainted. And I was like, I'm just in so much pain. And then when I said pain, like I fell over. So when I woke up, they were giving me the new epidural. So I forgot that part. So it's 4 hours of pushing, fainted. They give me the new epidural. And then the nurse is like, you got to take an hour nap. Because this epidural kicked in, but it only kicked in on one side. But like that was better than nothing.
Jesus fuck.
You ready for another one?
I felt some relief. Oh my God. Right. I know. And I am. I'm like, I'll have another one. I'll do it again. Because like that's how much I love this baby. Yeah, we're crazy. Like you have Stockholm syndrome to the process. And I take the nap. And then they come back in 1 hour later and they like wake me up and they're like, can you push again? And like, they told me they're like, her head's going to be all sorts of crazy because like, she's just been sitting down there while I nap.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, let's push again. So we woke up and pushed for like another hour and a half and then got that little baby girl.
Wow.
And nothing mattered.
That's working for it. That is seriously working.
That's wild.
That's crazy that you pushed for that long. Like Amanda and I'm not both did like vaginal and we've never had C-sections, but like neither of us have ever.
No, my first was he had to come out at 35 weeks. He was a preemie, but I pushed for an hour and the second one flew out in like 10 minutes.
Mine was the opposite. The first one I pushed for less. The second one I electively did a natural. Like I did no meds on purpose, but what I will say is your situation is like worse because at least when you do it natural,
you were going in with it.
I'm mentally prepared, and B, I can move, I can walk. I'm like using motion, which like really helps. Like you can breathe through the contractions. Like obviously you're probably lying on the bed because they've given you enough meds that you can't walk, so you're just lying there for every contraction. I assume, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I woke her up. Oh, honey, I startled her. It's okay.
Did she ever do this thing when like they wake up and they like put their like this thing with the hands? Do you ever find she does
multiple
that?
times a day? Multiple times.
We get startled. They're like protection, like she's protecting herself,
and then they don't know what to do with their hands, and they just like,
I need
because they're used to this in the womb.
That's why I need another one.
I know. Don't worry.
Sorry,
you'll get it. I get it. I'm with you though. I'm like, I need another one because I can't have this phase in. But now I'm thinking about the whole like, I don't want to miss the newborn. The back-to-back newborn phases does have me thinking, but I'll process that later. But that is interesting.
It's a real thing.
And mine, I got pregnant when my kid was 2, so they're like 2 and a bit, and he was like in daycare school.
It's
like
a very different.
Like I did 2 unique newborn stages.
Yes, exactly. So I know like now when I am to have my third, I'm really going to enjoy the newborn because the eldest one will be the youngest one will be almost 3 years old.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're like missing it right now. Like when you say like, give me another one, it's like you do. It's like
you get baby fever.
Oh, I've had baby fever the last year.
I literally had my baby and like a month later, I was like, hey, I'm ready for another one.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, are you insane?
Yes.
He's like, your vagina's still bleeding. I was like, I don't care.
Give me another one.
Oh, the vagina bleeding afterwards. Oh my gosh.
Vile. It's like no one told me about that. Like they're like, oh, you're gonna need a diaper postpartum. Like, I don't need a diaper. I just need like 9,000 pads all day, just like hemorrhage. It was disgusting.
But while we're on that, let's get into you're in postpartum. Still.
Yeah.
You're 2 months in. So you're early postpartum. How's it going?
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going. I was on a walk, like, I don't know who I thought I was, like 2.5 weeks after postpartum. I was like, I'll go on a walk to like my favorite coffee shop. I need to get out of the house. And I'm like walking and I'm like, something's not right down there. I was like, something. And then it started like burning and hurting.
This gives me PTSD.
And we came back and like my stitches came out.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to the doctor and she was just like, this is a rare one. But like you're just gonna have to naturally heal here. And like she took out whatever stitches were like left. And she was just like, your vagina is like meant to close on its own. And so like, well, we can't, because they can't restitch you until 6 weeks after, until all the swelling's gone.
Right. Makes sense.
And I didn't have to get restitched, thank God. But like so she really was like, don't mess with this. Like you have to just like stay home now and not walk a lot. And so I definitely, that set me back, but it was nice to like not, to remove the fact that like I could go on walks, right? So I just like really stayed here.
Right.
No, I did the same thing. I was 1 week postpartum and I went on a walk like a lunatic because like you're still kind of like taking meds. I don't know. Like I was just like out.
You're just like on a high.
And the same thing happened to me. I had like burning. And someone was like, get on that sitz bath. I don't know if you've done that. Get on that sitz bath and stay there and don't fucking move again because like you need to let it like heal. Have you been doing that with the Epsom salts?
I fought the sitz bath for a long time and then I finally got it. And it's just like, again, people recommend things for a reason. And my doctor kept saying, order that sitz bath.
Yes.
It's a game changer. And like, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, when I first saw it, I was like, what is this thing?
No, it saved my vagina.
And I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Saved.
And then I went on and I was like, okay, I needed this.
No, the sitz bath saved my vagina. And honestly, we'll get into it. You're still breastfeeding, so you haven't got there. But my advice, if you ever did you use the ice padsicles after you gave birth? Like ice packs?
Yes.
As a pad? Make sure you save that because when you get your first period, that's exactly what it feels like.
Ugh.
What?
Just an FYI.
I'm dreading that. I still haven't
Wait,
gotten.
what do you mean?
Wait, what?
Your first
period back
after birth.
Is
a shit show.
Is a shit show. And first, especially the second kid was a little bit easier because your body was like, okay, cool, I've already done this. But your first one back, your period is a nightmare. And it's very painful. And you save those padsicles because your vagina swollen.
Ugh.
So it will bring you back.
Why is it so bad?
But no one told me that. And then thank God I had the ice pad still and I put it in and it just saved me.
I think it's just like your body forgot how to have a period. I don't know why it's so bad.
I think also it depends when your period comes back with the breastfeeding because your body is still healing.
That's true. You got your period like 3 months postpartum.
Yeah, I got my period like
you
3
weren't
months
healed.
postpartum. So like I wasn't healed.
I'm 8 months and I still don't have it. So if I got it now, I feel like it would not. I don't know.
Think I think you'll be okay.
I hope.
Fuck. You'll let us know.
Wait, so you're 8 months postpartum and you don't have one. Okay, so it can come whenever.
Like,
Yes.
so what they say is that breastfeeding is like your body telling yourself, your boobs are telling your body, don't release any more eggs. We're still on baby number 1. But when you stop breastfeeding is usually when it says, okay, we're done with the baby. We can make new ones. For whatever reason, I've been done breastfeeding for like 2 months and
It ranges for everyone.
nowhere to be found.
It ranges for everyone. Some people won't get it for a year. Some people, I got mine with both kids 2 months after I stopped breastfeeding.
And some people get it the day after.
Yeah, the day
you literally
after.
stop breastfeeding, boom, you get your period.
So everyone's different. No one's going to tell you when it's coming. But when it comes.
Like, I don't mind it now. It's just like, I'm dreading.
What? Your
Like,
period?
I don't mind not having my period. Like, it's great.
Yeah, it's true.
It's great.
It's true. But you want it. You want your hormones to get stabilized. You want everything to like kind of like go back to how it was. And then you just do it again.
Exactly.
It's just back and forth.
It's just like,
it's a lot.
it's a lot. I never thought about you do actually want your period. Like you don't want it, but like you do. It is good to have it. But oh my God, that first period sounds awful.
Yeah, no. I don't, not to scare you.
Yeah, not to scare you, and you're going to do great. You're going to do great.
It can't be worse. Like we've already done, okay, I can handle it.
That's the thing.
Your
Like, you
labor-
literally pushed a child out of your vagina and you push for 5 hours.
Exactly.
Like,
You can handle it.
it's gonna be
You
nothing.
got this. Just keep the padsicles.
Yeah, it'll just, I have some and I'm so glad you said that. So
yeah,
I
just
will
keep the ice
them.
padsicles. That saved me. Really, really, it did save me.
Okay, so now like you're in postpartum, like are your hormones like all over the place? Like I feel like I was like really like emotional. Like what's your vibe right now?
Yeah, really like soft and tender. Like, and I don't really default to soft and tender. So I'm typically like, Harrison and I call me like, I'm like a kind of a harder, harsher, not so emotional as my typical default. And like this postpartum, I mean, I just emotional, can cry, but like soft. I like sweet things. Like I just like want like hugs. Like I don't even know what's happening. So there's like that on one side.
You're
I,
suck.
I want to make my neighbors cookies. Oh yeah,
You're like Betty Crocker homemaker.
Yes, like anything that happens in the world, even I'm just like, oh, I feel for both sides.
Oh.
If the Super Bowl happened, I'd be like, I really want both sides to win. Like I just, and like that's ridiculous, like whatever. And then also what I didn't realize, so about 6 weeks postpartum, I got hit with postpartum depression and I was depressed. I was like real depressed pregnant. And they called, I guess, like prepartum depression, which is a thing. And like, I hated that aspect of it. And when I had her, almost as soon as she came out, did I feel like I snapped back mentally. I was just like,
wow.
whoa. And then, which was great, right? And then I was about 6 weeks on the day. I just was like in my basement hysterically crying for like no reason. Like I was like, I'm just sad. And talked to my doctor and she's like, okay, this postpartum depression, you kind of have a hormone shift, I guess, at that time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, it's very common that it can come on now. So you just have to monitor it. And like I got real lucky. It lasted on and off for like a week and a half. And it's gone now, could come back, but like thankful that it's gone, thankful that it, didn't last a long time. But like when I did have it, just sat, like you couldn't even talk to me.
Wow.
But
It's a very, very,
came in
very
waves.
scary thing that you can't really explain to people unless they've gone through it. And telling someone, oh, you'll be fine, you'll get through it. Like I don't know. It's tough.
So what did you do to like deal with it? Like if the really bad, like at the really low points?
It felt better when I actually like acknowledged that I was having it because I did try to fight it for like 3 or 4 days. But at the really low points, what we did was basically like I ordered coloring books and puzzles and like because I didn't want to try meds. I did talk to my doctor about that and she was like, if it does get so bad, you can try meds. But I typically try to do no meds but if it did get bad, so I had a calendar and I divided every day into 2 days. So like 7 days was 14 boxes.
Smart.
And I would put like a green X or a red check. And a red check meant like I had the postpartum depression. And so if I got to where I had 10 red checks, then that's when I was going to do medicine. But like it never really got there. So what I would do is I would just like watch a happy movie. And I just like allowed myself to check out. And I would just like hold her and we would hang out and I would just like move meetings and like really just not be hard on myself. Go on a walk. That was a big one.
Yeah.
And just like be really nice to myself.
It's really smart.
No,
and that's great advice.
Yeah, I love those tips. I think that's really smart. Also to like compartmentalize your day so it's not like so daunting and like ahead of you. But yeah, the postpartum depression is real because like it's also like a spectrum, right? Like I think we all have some of it to like a lesser extent. Obviously, some people like get it more intensely, ideally for a short amount of time, but you don't like the same with the birth experience. Like you don't know how long these things are going to last. And like, that's the scary part. Like It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be like, you just don't know.
You have no idea.
I think what's scary about it too is like people kept, even when I was pregnant, people kept saying like, you'll go back to your old you. And I thought, what if I don't? And then with postpartum depression, I thought, what if this lasts? And for some people, it can last a year, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
But just like trusting you will go back was really hard for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's
that
feels like your new reality.
Yeah, but you're never going, I'm sure you've heard that, you're never going back to how you were pre-kids. You're just, this is the new you.
Not the depressed version.
Not the depressed version,
but
not
the mom
this
version.
is the new you. Because your body and your mind are never going to be what it was before you had a baby.
Nope. And I don't want it to be that. That's the other thing is like, I look at her and love her so much and think like, I love this phase more than any other phase. So like, I don't want to go back to how I was. But I definitely, that the depressed part felt daunting.
For sure.
You know? And that part I did really want to do everything to get rid of it the best I could. And I will say this also, one thing that helped was I immediately got my diet in check. Like I added in more protein and that, I don't know if that helped or not, but like, I don't know if that's a direct correlation, but almost to the day did, because one of my friends told me what helped her was like eating clean just won't make it worse and it could help it. And so I did change that and it did get better.
I believe that 100%. You're feeding your body what it wants and you're feeding it. I mean, in general, if you're postpartum, you need to be eating a fuck ton of protein because you're breastfeeding and that's the best way to make it. And I'm sure it's all related.
I agree.
Wow. Well, I'm happy you're on the other end of it. And I'm happy it didn't last that long because I never had it that bad.
I did a little bit with my second.
But it's scary.
Because they were so close together. That was also a
right.
part.
You were just
I was just in
one
shock.
Giant postpartum.
Yeah, it's like my postpartum just like never ended. I found out I was pregnant when I was 6 months postpartum.
That's insane. That's actually insane.
Were you Were you breastfeeding at that time?
I was not breastfeeding at that time. No.
Okay.
I stopped breastfeeding. I didn't make enough milk. So I stopped breastfeeding with my first at 4 weeks. He got 4 weeks and my second got 2 months. I made more milk the second time around. But I do now it makes sense. Like in my head, I was like, my body was just like in like high stress. I don't know. It was a blur, but I had it the second time. And also my second was born January 1st. So I was in the full midst of winter in Toronto. Black, no sun, snow. Nightmare depressing. All
That's
the above.
probably why you had depression.
I was, and like everyone was just like out, and I basically just like, I couldn't go outside for a walk. It was like wet and slushy and gross and freezing cold.
Oh my God, I got the chills.
Yeah. Yeah. it was hard. It was definitely really, really hard the second time around. And the first time, I think we got lucky because it was COVID. So everyone was home. There was we had no responsibilities. My husband was the dad. I didn't really do anything. Like he literally like did everything. He was home.
Right. Interestingly,
really nice.
My recoveries were so different. And now I thought of something. I never got an epidural with my second one. And I had no postpartum anything.
You had no drugs.
I had no drugs in my system. And it really changed the game postpartum. Like I really think, not that epidurals cause any of this stuff, but I do think like you have so much meds in your system and you have to like flush all this stuff out. Like it takes time. Like my first time I had an epidural, I thought I was paralyzed for life.
Yeah.
I was like, my knee, I can't feel my leg. And I'm like, it's just getting out.
But we're going to laugh now and you're going to laugh with us. I asked Jessie if she'd do it again. You said you'd get an epidural.
Maybe. We'll see.
She has a third one. The first one had an epidural. The second she did, and she's going back to the epidural.
I don't know. It was fucked up.
Well, yeah. Listen, I think it's really cool when people don't get the epidurals. And I think that there probably is something to the flush out afterwards. But what gives me peace, right? Because I'm just playing devil's advocate here, was like, I didn't get the award for not I didn't end up having it. But what gave me peace of mind was like, it didn't matter either way.
Right.
No.
It doesn't matter
At
how.
all.
Towards the end.
It just matters it just matters that you get there. It doesn't matter how.
Just want it out.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck how. Just take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out.
At the
Take
end.
it out.
Take it. Just take it out.
Take it out.
Yes.
So you said you haven't really been working out, but have you heard of like pelvic floor? Have you done pelvic floor?
Oh, I can't get into this with you again.
It's important.
Have you heard of pelvic floor?
It's important. I liked that. I have heard of it. I have not done it.
Okay.
Nor will I do it because I'm too lazy, but you could talk me into it maybe.
Okay. Well,
I've been trying to convince Amanda to do it because
for 2 years.
I was bad. Like I would sneeze, pee. I wouldn't even feel the pee coming out at one point. Like it was just like loose.
Okay. So
bad.
Jessie's been trying to convince me for 2 years. I don't jump and pee. I don't have that problem after pushing 2 babies out, but I constantly pee. I feel like my bladder can't keep up. And like, I'm not drinking that much water where you'd be like, I should be peeing that much. I feel like my bladder is just like, there's some pressure on it, which makes sense because the baby was there. Both babies were there. So I feel like any pressure that goes, like I have to pee right now, like I'll have to pee. And I feel like you're not supposed to hold it in. Anyways, with that being said, Jessie's literally been trying to tell me to go see one. And finally she found this girl. And she didn't fist me because she promised me to be on Zoom.
Like if you like pelvic floor, it's late. It's not fun. Like they literally stick their hand up you and they're like, okay, you're a 2. Okay, squeeze a little bit. Oh, you're really bad in this. Like she's telling me how like my vagina is weak and it's bad and all these things. And then you have to do like exercises. And I'm like, it was good because it worked, but it was also like,
so I said no, but if you find me someone who can help me on the screen, I will try it with you. So Jessie made me try it.
Yeah, I found this girl does this like you're supposed to strengthen your pelvic floor like after you give birth, right? So she like does all these exercises and like you said you haven't worked out, but truthfully, I don't even think you need to work out necessarily. You just need to like
strengthen that area,
strengthen all this stuff. Anyway,
we did the session.
Yeah, we did the session.
I really enjoyed it. I like really, really enjoyed it. She did not fist me. And she kind of was just like explaining exactly like, you can't just like jump back into core after having a baby. Like everything is weak there. You can't just like jump back into it. So she kind of was like over Zoom, like kind of explaining me to like hold my pelvis here and then hold my belly here and like actually felt the muscles. She was basically fisting me over the screen, if that makes sense. But I really, really enjoy it and highly recommend it if you don't want to get fisted. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
No, it was good. But yeah, the pelvic floor is, you could, yeah. Anyway.
When you're ready.
No, I think like I've heard people like really not enjoy it, but like find it beneficial. I would do Zoom because like it's hard to get me to go somewhere in the car right now.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Like I want to stay home or around. Like I can walk to the grocery store and things like that. But like I'll do the Zoom one.
There you go. There's Zoom.
We'll send you the link. It's called Revolution Motherhood. I don't know. It's a mom. And my new thing with motherhood is if
I know what you're going to say.
If a mom makes it, sign me up.
Trust it.
Because like I know she's been in my shoes for the most part.
Yes.
And I'm like, I would like to do that.
I agree. I love that.
Not like these trainers that are like men. And I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
No. Get someone who's gone through it and now has basically made something because she's learned it the hard way. And now is out to like.
Totally agree.
That's what we're doing. We're here. We had babies. Follow along with us. And like, we'll tell you the raw truth. It ain't sprinkles.
Which I love though, because it was hard to find the raw truth online. Like I had a really like jaded thought about what pregnancy was, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important. Like I think what you guys do is really cool because it is important to just be like, oh, by the way, your first period sucks. And it's like, oh,
Right.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Good to know.
You're not like the other day she was trying to like chat GPT shit to like find mom hacks and life hacks. And I'm like, you're not going to find anything.
No.
Like you need to call a mom and be like, what the fuck do I do with my kid?
Yeah.
This is happening and this is happening. And like, how do I deal with it? And I'm like, she's going to tell you what you need to know, or at least give you ideas that you can then do with what you please.
Well, I was just gonna say this baby, I have to hold her in a second. She is a product of a lot of chat GPT. And then I think about like,
Alex,
I'm
just
like,
call us.
but then I hate phone calls. So if I can just like, if the internet can solve it for me. But then I think, what did our parents do? Or like,
I know.
if
They
couldn't
called their
Google, they didn't have
friends.
cell phones, but like on their home phone, you know, I'm like, that's impressive.
Yeah. You like wrote a dial.
No,
me.
literally kudos to them. I don't know how the fuck they did it.
Okay, so
They just did
on
it.
this topic though, what's the craziest thing you've Googled at like 3 a.m.?
Okay. I really wish I could get our history.
Yeah, we're giving you one. What do you think is the...
I don't even know what I've Googled.
Oh, I know what we did was like, if there's water in the bottle because it's not dry all the way, will it kill the baby if I put milk in it? We did that one.
Honestly,
That one.
so fair. So fair. You literally bring this baby home, and I always talk about it, and they're just like, here you go. Bye. See ya. Figure it out.
Good luck. Like,
Yeah.
and we'll Google like dumb things too, though. Like, when do they eat solids? You know,
Yes,
like,
no, that's fair.
That's a legit question for sure. I don't even know what I've Googled.
Oh, I've Googled fucked up shit.
I probably think my kid had every disease, and I'm like, does he have like a this or that? Or like the spot on their head. I was like, is he gonna have a deformed head for life? Because it doesn't. It
takes a long time for that
to, like,
spot to fill in.
And I'm like, oh my god,
It's when they grow.
Yeah, but like you don't know that.
No, you
It's
don't
like,
know
It's like
that.
mushy.
You don't know that.
yeah. And they say too, like, if they're dehydrated, then the spot's worse.
Yes.
And it's like, how do you know? And then like, if you're hydrated, then the milk's hydrated. It's just like so much.
I know.
Yeah, it's really.
But you figure it out day by day. And literally, that's all we talk about. We literally have put it all into one big poof. Here it is.
Literally.
Welcome.
It's so true. It does feel accomplished. Like you do feel accomplished when you like solve the problem. Like, why are they crying? And it's like, we tried everything yesterday. Turns out like the nails were too long and like one scratched her. But it's like, once you figure it out, you do feel, somebody told me that being a mom is a thankless job. I'm like, I really don't feel that. I really do feel like every time I see her like there's nothing better than when she's bathed, new diaper, new outfit.
Nothing.
A
The
best.
house is like clean. She's laying on the bed. I'm like, no, but I did it today. Just to undo
100%.
it all
You did
but like
a million things today is what you did.
yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like here we are and she's happy. And like, I do feel when she's happy, I feel like that's me being thanked.
100%. That's a really good way to put it. Like I used to compare like my husband going to work and like he would do all these things and accomplish all these things. And I would sit at home doing nothing. And I'm like, but wait a second. I just literally grew my kid from 8 pounds to whatever pounds they are now from literally my body. Like, okay, plus if you want to add formula, that's still work. But if you're breastfeeding at all, that's a full-time job.
Yep.
And then literally raising a child and doing all these things, like it's
10 jobs.
a job.
10 jobs put
and
into
them
what?
smiling back at you is, you're
Them
right.
thanking you.
It's thanking them. Yeah. I can't speak.
You. No, it's incredible. It's incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. They that's the other thing, like all the negative stuff they don't prepare you for. I feel like you said it before. Like they don't prepare you for the love. Like
No.
you can't explain it. You really can't. It's just like
I completely agree.
I
wanna punch
actually
them.
think I like slurp his
No, I
cheeks.
literally
I'm
want
like,
to throw my kids off the balcony.
Stop saying that.
I slurp.
They're so
slurp
cute. I
the
just want to
cheeks, too.
like punch him.
I'm more
I
just-
know. I feel the same way.
Is she sleeping now?
No, Julie's like rocking her hand.
Oh, God. I don't know if you have this feeling yet. Maybe it will come. But I'm like, I always toy with the like, oh my God, they're exhausting me. I can't wait for them to go to bed and give myself a second. And then when they're sleeping, I'm like, why aren't they waking up?
Yeah.
Why aren't they waking up? I'm bored. I want to play with them. I don't know. I have this like
The second, like Harrison will do this thing where he takes her, especially on weekends, right? And like I'll sleep in and I'll wake up to like a text from him that's like, "We'll be home later, but like enjoy your day at home." And that's great for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
No, you have
I will
FOMO.
just
You wanna
find
see her.
myself. I'm like, I'm bored. What do you want me to do? Like, like what do I sit and read a book? Like, oh my God, my head wants to explode. I'm just like, I could clean the house. Don't want to do that. Like I could go on a walk. No, and it's just like, let's just live in the chaos. And like, I agree. When she's asleep, I'm like, can we wake her up? I want to hold her.
yeah.
No.
It's crazy. It's very weird. And you think you're like, you tell yourself you're crazy because you're like, I just spent so long
much,
putting
I
them down or wishing to have a break. And then you're like, no, I don't want a break. I
Okay,
always
but
say,
when they're 3, you want to break.
no, when there's 3, you want a break. But I always said like the hardest part of motherhood to me was not being a mom.
No.
It was all the other shit.
Yeah.
The cleaning, the diapers, the schedule,
I
the
agree.
people, the visits, the work. Like being a mom is amazing. It's
Amazing.
the easiest job in the world. It's all the other shit I don't want to do.
Yeah, of course.
No question. I totally agree with that. It's a really good way to put it. Like that part intuitively, like you can do, but the rest of the stuff,
I'm like, oh,
it's just like,
yeah.
yeah.
rather not.
I'd have 10. Not actually, but
You would not want to be pregnant for 15 years.
no.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
No.
That's the whole part.
Okay, Alex,
pregnancy
we asked
thing.
everybody this. What is your best advice for moms, either soon to be or in your position newly postpartum? What's the best thing you've learned in your couple months as a new mom?
So I was really thinking about this and I didn't know if I should go like wide or like very niche. So I guess I have 2. So the first one, which is like big picture, is everything ends. So like everything is temporary. And I think that's like the pain in your vagina is temporary, right? Or like
Yeah.
the sleepless nights, they are temporary. You never catch up on sleep. Like it never stays that bad. And then with that too, like when we got to the postpartum room at the hospital, I remember the nurse was like, remember, feed her every 3 hours and diaper changes. And like, we kind of looked at each other and we're like, what does that mean? Like, what do we feed her? How do I get the milk out of me? What if I can't get the milk out of me? And like, I've never changed a diaper. And like, we were like, what the fuck do we do? And so I think everything is figure outable is like you do it once and then like changing a diaper, changing her
It's nothing.
at first was so daunting. Now it's so easy. So like your motherhood
true.
and like your motherly instincts, like they just do kick in. Just trust the process.
I love that.
Great advice.
It's true.
It's so true.
I was in the exact same boat. I never changed a diaper in my life, never fed, had no idea. And next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you're an expert.
You're a full expert.
And like you've done it 100 times. It's it. It's true. You figure it all out.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's amazing.
It's very true.
I mean, I could stay on with you for. I'm having the best time. But I do think it's time to end it, and you probably have to go feed or pump or something.
All the above.
I got to figure out what we got to do. I don't know what's happening. I think we're growing, so we are eating like it was 3 hours. Now it does seem like we're kicking it down to 2, but that's okay.
Is she cluster feeding?
She stopped cluster feeding. Yeah, that's done for now. I know it could pick up again, but right now we're not.
Okay. That one was I hated that. I felt like a cow. Literally. I was like, I couldn't keep up.
Also, Benny is like so large.
Yeah, my kid's the 97th percentile of height and weight. So he's huge. he just got weighed.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Huge. He's 8 months and he's 24 pounds.
Oh my gosh. Like, how long can you hold him?
Not long. The other day, they were like, you can't bring your stroller in. And I was like,
but I have to.
Okay. And I swear to God, my arms are jacked.
I get it. I'm broken.
Jacked.
From
I would have been like, I have to leave. If I can't, you know,
and
like she's heavy right now.
How much does she weigh?
Like 11 or 12 pounds, and it's just heavy. So like 2 of those.
I'm rolling my eyes at you.
Yeah, I know. I got to get my strength up.
You got to get your strength.
We're going to send you the app.
We're going to send you her.
It actually was a great intro to like getting back. That was what I would recommend.
Instead of while you're playing, it's basically you pumping and planking. You can do all this stuff while you're doing that.
While you're pumping?
While you're pumping, you can do the pelvic core stuff.
Just add it to your nightly routine.
I need something. You know, I was thinking about just setting weights beside me and like doing those so like I could just do this.
Yeah,
you need to do something to like strengthen this. I actually did that. I did a different program postpartum because I hadn't found this one, and it was like she was like, you got to fix this before you do anything else. Stuff.
No, it was really really smart.
Yeah, I'd love to try it. Will you send it to me, please? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
100%.
Well, this was so fun.
Thank you for joining. This was amazing. You taught us. I love some of your tips. I love following you. We had such a fun time chatting, and we hope you have a really wonderful holidays.
Yes, the holidays are coming up.
I know, it's crazy.
I know, it's wild. And thank you guys for having me on. I think it's really cool. Like I don't do like a lot of mom chats, and it's like all I think about. It occupies 100% of my brain is like this motherhood stuff. So I really enjoyed it. And thank you. You guys taught me a lot.
You're so welcome. We enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll see you on soon when she's a little bit older. Yeah. And we'll hear part 2.
Baby toddler vibes.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I get sad about her growing up, but it'll be okay.
It'll be great. They're all different stages.
It gets better. It really gets better when she starts to really engage. It's so fucking cute and fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
really
I'm excited for that. Thank you.
Good.
All right. Bye, Alex. Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you next week.